especially during vacation time, you know, you're going to see little kids playing on the surf and in the sand. And what we used to do, of course, and kind of the stereotypical thing a child will do is a little kid with a plastic bucket and a shovel, and they'll shovel sand into the bucket and pack it down and then turn it over, and voila, you have the beginning of a sand castle. I remember doing that a lot as a kid. And you painstakingly kind of create this kind of castle. You know, you put a moat around it and you build it up maybe with several turrets and things like that. You can create something really amazing. But of course, little kids are not so concerned about the fact that in time, it'll all be washed away when the tide comes in. You won't even be able to tell that there was anything there when this tide comes in and the sand is all smoothed out again. When it comes to building our church, we will have to be more concerned about it, right? We'll have to build it so that it stands for at least 100 years or more. The foundation must be laid correctly. Codes will have to be followed regarding earthquakes and the impact of earthquakes. It will have to pass fire inspections. We don't want our new church to come tumbling down because of the forces of nature. Jesus teaches that our faith lives, our faith journeys also have to be built up with care. If we think that our faith lives can be built up as easily as a sandcastle, then we must expect that that faith will not withstand the struggles of life. How many people do we know whose faith is shaky at best? They don't take the time. They don't put in the effort and the discipline required to make sure that that faith is built up over time with care and discipline. And as a result, when the first challenges come knocking at the door, their faith buckles. They're left with little ability to weather the storms of life. But if we take time to build up our faith through our prayer, through staying close to the sacraments and the church, by reading the scriptures, by doing good works and more, if we can do that, then that faith is being built up slowly. And it could come to our assistance. It could be of value to us, of course, through the difficult times of life. Our faith lives will stand secure when the storms come, and they will. But we will have built our faith on a solid foundation that will last. The season of Advent really, I think, is a reminder to us that our faith is important when it comes to preparing for God's kingdom. You know, when Jesus comes at the end of time, it's not like he's going to establish God's kingdom by saying, okay, here it is. No, in fact, we are preparing for that kingdom even now. We are the ones laying the foundation. In fact, we could go back to the Old Testament and see how God built the foundation of salvation upon the prophets and the patriarchs and the scriptures and the faithful people through the centuries. And that, of course, includes us. The goal is that when Christ comes again, he will look at the foundation that we have already been building up through our own faith lives. And then that work will be brought to completion by him. Foundations of God's kingdom are being laid right now. That foundation takes a lifetime to establish. Our lifetimes and the lifetimes of millions and millions of faithful people. But if we take care of our faith, then we will have been a part of that initial construction of the kingdom that is to come. Christ will see the good work we have done and will bring it to completion. So in this Advent season, by our prayer and by our eager anticipation, we look forward to the coming of this kingdom. We live with an eager anticipation of the completion of what God is preparing. If we're mindful that we are now laying that foundation and we are busy at work in the field of the Lord, then we can truly pray, come, Lord Jesus, come and complete the work that we have begun.